Hey guys, it's Cameron here with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rental portfolio in about 2 years and now actively manage that portfolio. Today I want to talk about a question from a subscriber. His name is Bill. And Bill, really appreciate the question. I'm going to walk through, he's got a couple parts to this question or several questions here. So I'm going to walk through them and then I'll go back through and answer all the questions. So thanks. Watch all your videos, some good info in there. So you are not actively marketing now, wholesaling or what? I had the same mindset, absentee owner for single family rentals and townhomes in my area. A list of about 450. Should I just keep at them? Do you or did you cold call? You say you used a mailer service. What kind of money do they charge? My first mailer of 150 was done by me with mail merge licked and signed, each one with a stamp. Ouch. Ouch. I don't mind doing the work in my off time to save money. Okay, Bill. A lot of great stuff here. This is why, I know I apologize it's taking me so long to get this, but there's a lot of good content here or good information that I think everybody can glean some value from. So, am I actively marketing right now? First question. No. I have not actively marketed for probably 1 year. We are going to start marketing again here in the next few months. This is at the time of this recording, it's 2019. So mid to late 2019, we're going to start back up. The reason for that is because the single family portfolio, the rental portfolio grew so much that it was hard to have the house buying side. We were buying so many houses that we actually couldn't push them through and manage them. We were spending so much money buying the houses and we were buying a house about every 6 weeks and it was just me. It's not like we have a big team of people, right? I just have my on payroll. I have a great team, large team, but not me, not that work for Emerson per se. So it was just getting too much where I was like, okay, we got to hold off on the house buying side and just focus on this management side. Now that we've got the management down, we've got great systems in place. Now it's going to go back to the house buying. So we're actually buying 2 houses next month in May, late May, early June, close date. So we're buying a 2-house, 3 units then. But to answer your question, short and sweet, no, we're not marketing right now. But we are still actively buying, and we will be soon. Are you wholesaling? Watch that other video I have about wholesaling and why I don't like wholesaling. I've done it. I just particularly don't like it. You'll see the reason behind that. What am I doing? Well, I think I just kind of explained that. We were building up the management side of it to understand how to actively manage portfolios and manage single-family rentals well or small multi-units. And now that we've got that built, now we're going back into the house buying. And like I said, we're going to close on 3 units here in the next 6 weeks. I have the same mindset. A list about 450. Should I just keep at them or do you cold call? So from later in the question, it sounds like you sent just one mailer. Absolutely. 450 is a great list. I was sending stuff to like between 5 and 10,000 addresses. So we were sending out between 5 and 10,000 letters a month, getting some very low response rates. This was during the height of everybody going crazy buying houses. So it was about, I think, 1 in every 30 calls that we would get. It cost about $1,200 to $1,500 initially, the cost to get a deal. Towards the end of the marketing campaign, and that would have been 2017, it was costing upwards of $2,000 to $2,500 to get a lead or to get a deal. Excuse me. So it went early on in 2015 to get from $1,500 to $2,500 at the end of the campaign. So more competition, more options, it becoming more and more difficult, prices rising, stuff like that. So it was getting harder. But your list of 450 is awesome. You can tailor. What's great about that, when I had 6,000 or 10,000 people, you're spending so much money a month to market to them, right? We're spending thousands of dollars a month in marketing. When you have 450, you can touch them so much more frequently. And by that, I don't mean anything perverted, just that you can send other different pieces of mail, right? So You could send a cheap postcard. You can then try a white letter. You can then try a yellow letter. You can then try whatever you want. I don't know what other pieces there are out there, but you can try all sorts of stuff. You know, an envelope or a manila envelope. I don't know what you want to send, but having 450, I mean, that shouldn't be, you know, you could spend $400 or $500 a month on just marketing to these people and get a deal. I mean, really target, you know, focus that marketing on them and really hit home. And then the ones that want to take you off the list, just keep knocking the list down, you know, so you'll go from 450, maybe 50 people tell you to take you off the list, but keep touching them at least once a month. And do you or did you cold call? I have never cold called. I know some people have success with it. I have never done it because in the world of marketing, my understanding of it, or what I have used, the principles I've used, check out one of the other videos I have on marketing and how, you know, those principles are put forth in what we do in the white letters and the marketing campaigns that we've created. But if you're just cold calling people, they're not raising their hand. You're going to spend a lot of time talking to people who don't want to talk to you. When someone calls you, when I send out a letter and someone calls me, or you send out a letter and someone calls you, then they have effectively raised their hand out of your list of 450 people and say, I am interested, I might be interested in what your service you're providing, what you're doing. And to just try to cold call 450, to me, you're just calling people. I mean, if you called me and asked me about any of my houses, I tell you, no, I'm not interested. It doesn't matter how many times you call me. Whereas if I respond to a letter you sent me, you know there's some sort of interest that I have in it. So if you guys never read the 80-20 principle, pick up the book. It's a fantastic book. It's great. And it really talks about the 80-20 is, if you're not familiar with the principle is basically saying 80% of your results come from 20% of your clients, whatever, come from 20% of your list, whatever it is. 80% of the results come from 20% of the work. And that is, when you think about it in a marketing perspective, what you're doing is you're trying to wean out, let's say you use your 450 people as an example, Bill. If you're trying to wean out the 450 so you can find the 5, 10, 20% of people that you really want to market to, you really want to talk to, you really want to go see their property. That's all you're doing through the process. So again, you think about it as a funnel. We go from this huge list to people that call you that are interested, to people that you set appointments to people that you follow up with, to people that you get a deal with. So again, think about it as when you're sending out these mailers, you're trying to wean out the people. You're trying to wean out the tire kickers. You're trying to wean out the people who don't want anything to do. They have the house paid off. They're going to live in it for the rest of their lives. It's a family heirloom, whatever reason it is, they're never going to sell to you, ever. They have zero motivation. You don't want to spend your time on those people. You do not want to waste any of your time with them. And if you try to market to those 450 people instead of the 20% of them that you really want to talk to, you're going to waste so much time and money. So that is a long way around saying why I don't like cold calling and I don't cold call. Because you're targeting everybody. They may or may not have a motivation. They did not raise their hand. Next piece. You say you used a mailer service. Yes, we used Action Mailing. We had a little bit of a falling out with some prices and various things, so we quit using them. And actually, we just quit marketing. So I can't say what their prices would be today. I don't even know if they're still in business. Haven't talked to them. Have no idea. What kind of money they charged? It was between 30 and 40 cents for a mailer. Now, there was always a base charge per mailer, so per white letter. Now, that was for our white letter. Postcards can be cheaper, and the volume we did, like I said, we did between 6,000 and 10,000 letters a month is what we sent out. And I don't know what tier structure they have to say that if you just sent out 450, how much it would be per letter, because typically they had a base fee. But that, obviously, if they're charging you a flat $500, that got cheaper per letter when you send out more mailers. So I don't know what that is for everybody. I'm just telling you what we've paid. Some of them don't charge a flat like setup fee. Most people do. They'll charge a setup fee, but not all of them. So you'll have to test that out. My first mailer of 150 was done by me. Okay, so you don't mind doing the work to save some time and money. So I would say whatever, let's just say 450. If you cannot send out 450 a month, whatever you want to do. If you only have money to do postcards, do postcards. I've had success in white letters. I've heard people having success in yellow letters, whatever it is. If you want to handwrite them, however you want to do it. But I would try to take that 450 and chop it up into whatever you can do every month. So if you're going to write them, and I don't recommend that, but if you're struggling on the money side to have money to market, then you have to do what you have to do to get a deal. I totally understand that. So if you can only do 100 a month, well, do 100 and rotate. So you set up the first 100, then the second, third, and fourth 100. And then at the end of that campaign, so you do every 4 months, then you start touching them again. So you have month 1, you do the first 100, month 2, you do the second, month 3, the third 100, month 4, the fourth 100, month 5, the first 100 again. You're sending them, whether it's the same piece of mail or a different piece. Traditionally, what we've done is we send out a mailer and we'll do split testing. And this is very basic concept, but you send one mailer out to one list, you send another mailer out to half the list, and one mailer out to the other half. Whichever response rates are higher, you get rid of the old one and you use that one. You see, so this one might be a 3% response rate. This might have been a 5%. We use the 5% from now on. We don't use the 3%. For what you're doing with 450, I wouldn't worry about that. I would just pick something, track it after you send the 450, the whole list. I would track that and say, okay, if you can do 150 a month, that's 3 months. So you can touch somebody every 3 months. On the 4th month, you go back to the first 100. And I would just see after that first campaign of 150 a month, then you can see what the response rate was. And I say that it's not that hard to track. You can track it in Excel. You can say, here's how many mailers I sent out this month, 150. Here's how many calls I got, 20, whatever it was, 10. Here's how many appointments I went on, 5. Here's how many deals I got, 1. That's very simple math, but that way you can track each campaign. And people are going to tell you to take them off your list, which is fine. Again, if they're truly, if they're once you to take them off your list, then be aware of why. If they really have no motivation, don't waste your time marketing to them. I mean, just maybe in the next 4 months you can hit them again, but if they're truly like not even the slightest bit motivated, then I wouldn't waste time marketing them. I'd cut that list down and keep getting rid of people till you have the core 100, whatever it is, people that are interested. And trust me, you'll find people that are interested. It's going to happen. Bill, I hope that answered all your questions. I think it did. If it didn't, let me know. If it did, let me know either way. And I think you'll be fine. Marketing doesn't matter the size of the list as long as you do it consistently. Like I said, check out some of the other videos I have, whether they're right here or on the YouTube channel. I know I put a lot of content out about marketing because it is imperative. It's the lifeblood of your business. So, Bill, keep hammering, man. That's the only thing I can say is, doesn't matter if you're sending 10 cards out a week, 20 a month, 50 a month, just do something and be consistent with it. And consistency, you will find success. There's no doubt in my mind. So, Bill, appreciate the question. Guys, if you have any other questions or something didn't make sense, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer that for you guys. Appreciate it. See you guys next week.